Hi, I'm your English teacher, Kat. Welcome and welcome back. Welcome to Tuesday World News Day. I thought every Tuesday we'll do some world news. I'll just read an article. You can listen. Of course, feel free to jump into the chat and give me some ideas. So today, the first news article that we will read will be about Norway. How Norway gave the world salmon sushi. Salmon sushi. I wouldn't have thought that salmon sushi came from Norway, but let's read and find out together. Do you like salmon sushi? If so, you can thank Norway. Thank you, Norway. Whether in a roll, on rice, or on its own, many people love raw salmon, including in Japan, the sushi capital of the world. However, people in Japan didn't start eating raw salmon until the 1990s. This is because salmon in the Pacific Ocean was known to have parasites, so it was not safe to eat raw. Well, I didn't know that. Norway had a different problem. While its salmon had no parasites, the country had too much of it and not enough people to sell it to. In 1986, the Norwegian government started Project Japan, and Bjorn Erik Olsen's job was to make salmon sushi part of Japanese food culture. We set to inject Norwegian salmon into Japanese sushi, Olsen told the Japanese Times. It wasn't easy. In an interview with NPR, Olsen explained the Japanese people at first refused to eat it, saying that it didn't taste good, smelled strange, and had the wrong colour. The campaign took 10 years. At first, Olsen tried to change Japan's idea of salmon as a bad fish by showing pictures of clean Norwegian waters. When that didn't work, he went to a well-known Japanese company called Nichirai, which agreed to buy 5,000 metric tons of salmon for a very low price and sell it for sushi. As Nichirai started selling cheap salmon for sushi, the idea became more normal. Slowly, it started to spread around Japan. Today, salmon is found in sushi restaurants all over Japan. And a 2025 survey found that salmon was the most popular fish at conveyor belt sushi restaurants in that country. I think salmon is probably one of the most common sushi ingredients in Australia too. I wonder what other parts of the world like to have the salmon in their sushi. I'm really surprised about this article, but what a great endeavour to take a problem and turn into a great result, and to use another country's favourite food to do that. Some questions about this article is what my thoughts are on the history of salmon. Personally, I don't like to eat raw salmon, but a lot of Australians do. I do eat sushi rolls often, probably once a week. It's a bit of a lunch food for me, so sometimes if I'm at the shopping centre or the mall, I'll stop and buy some sushi rolls to bring home. And another question, are there many conveyor belt sushi restaurants where I live? We call them sushi train. And although the food doesn't come out on a train, it does come out on a conveyor belt. We call it a sushi train. And yes, they're very popular in Australia, and I do have a couple near me. What would I say my favourite Japanese food is? I don't think I have a favorite Japanese food. I do enjoy teriyaki chicken and I like sushi rolls. Have any foreign foods become popular in my country? I live in a very multicultural city, so foreign food is very common. We have a lot of restaurants from all over the world and good restaurants too. So I can easily walk down one street and find a Chinese restaurant, Japanese, Italian, Greek, Vietnamese, Turkish. Probably most areas of the world are covered with restaurants everywhere in my city. Let's look at another world article since it's Tuesday Newsday. There are a lot of Japanese stories in the news, I see. Here's one about McDonald's. So let's do another food one. This one, it says, over 60% of McDonald's Japan menu sees a price rise. It's getting more expensive to eat and drink in Japan, according to, I'm not very good with these Japanese names. Tikoku, it's the Tikaku Data Bank. More than 20,000 everyday food and drink items in the country became more expensive in 2025. And it's not just places like supermarkets that are seeing price changes. On February the 25th, McDonald's Japan increased prices on about 60% of its menu items, with the company saying higher material, energy, and labor cost mean it must increase prices across the country. Prices have gone up by 10 to 50 yen, which is about 6 cents to 32 cents. For example, the Big Mac has increased from 480 yen to 500 yen, a change of about 4%. All three sizes of McDonald's French fries also cost 20 yen more than before, and the price of a cheeseburger has increased by 20 yen too. This comes after the cheeseburger already saw a price increase last year in 2025. However, not all menu items have changed in price. For example, hamburgers and teriyaki McBurgers are staying the same price. Whether customers want to buy them alone or as part of a combo, their price hasn't changed. The company also said prices may differ in certain places. McDonald's stores at airports and in big cities may have different prices, and delivery services may also use different prices from regular restaurants. Let's have a little discussion about this article. The first thing that stood out to me was the teriyaki burger, the teriyaki McBurger. I didn't know that there was a teriyaki McBurger, and since we've already established that teriyaki is one of my favorite Japanese foods, I think I need to try a teriyaki McBurger. I'm not surprised that the prices have gone up across the board. And I'm also not surprised that the McDonald's restaurants at the airport are more expensive than everywhere else. That's also the case in Australia, I think. Airport food is expensive food. I wonder if they think, well, if you can afford to travel, you can afford to pay a little extra for your food. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe it's just for the convenience. I do know that the rent that the restaurants must pay at the airport is very high. So that's probably the main reason for the price hike. Let's see if it has any questions about this. How often do I eat McDonald's? Although I do love McDonald's every now and then, I do not eat it very often. It's a sometimes food. So maybe not even once a month, maybe 3 times a year, maybe 4 times a year. My go-to order when I go to McDonald's is a Big Mac in the meal deal. So the Big Mac, the fries, and a drink. I do love McDonald's fries. Sometimes if I'm extra hungry, I'll get a cheeseburger as well. When my husband and I traveled around Europe in 2024, I made the decision to try a cheeseburger in every city that we went to, and I did. So, of course, it was easy to find McDonald's every city we were in, and I tried a cheeseburger everywhere. I can't remember if there were price differences or a big difference in price from one country or one city to another, because I didn't really care about the price. I was just determined to try them. But I did remember that they all tasted the same. The only cheeseburger that tasted different to me was in Italy. And what was different was the tomato sauce, or ketchup, as Americans call it. It was delicious. So the sauce was different in Italy. Otherwise, everywhere else, they were exactly the same. Do I expect food prices to increase or slow down anytime soon? Well, I think they're going to increase. I don't think I've ever heard of food prices going down. They go up and only up. In Australia, since COVID, food prices have risen dramatically, and they've consistently kept getting higher and higher since then. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. This question says, what are the most popular fast food chains in my country? Of course, McDonald's is probably the most famous or favourite. KFC, very popular. There's a Mexican one that's becoming quite popular now, popping up everywhere. But that's probably the main ones. There's a lot more in America than Australia. And of course, we have most of the American popular ones here in Australia. But there's not many Australian. In America, they have Burger King. We have the same company here, but it has a different name. So it's called Hungry Jack's in Australia. Also very popular. Let's do another article. Some more news for Tuesday Newsday. We've already done that one another day. This is interesting. Exercise. Exercise may make people less angry. Maybe I should exercise a little more. Let's have a look at this article. So this is based on a study that was done. Someone bumps into you and keeps walking without saying sorry. A driver doesn't stop to let you cross the road and shouts at you as they pass. In these situations, many people might feel angry, but instead of getting angry, there's a better idea. Do some exercise. According to new research done in Brazil, people with better fitness may feel less angry and control their stress better than those who don't exercise much. In the small study, participants with above average fitness levels were put into one group, while participants with below average fitness were put into another group. Both groups were shown pictures of normal everyday things, as well as unsettling pictures that caused stress or unhappy feelings. Participants in both groups said they didn't feel good after seeing the unsettling pictures. However, those with above average fitness had lower levels of anger and anxiety and were better able to stay calm. Meanwhile, the researchers found that the below average fitness group had a 775% greater risk of their anxiety increasing to high levels. Participants in this group also had less control over their anger and were more likely to act on this anger after seeing the unsettling pictures. The researchers said this may be because exercise builds discipline, which can help people better control how they're feeling. Exercise also releases feel-good chemicals in the brain to make us feel happier and reduce stress. Of course, the study was very small. There were just 40 participants. So small differences among just a few participants could have had huge effects on the final result. But the next time you feel angry about something, instead of getting mad, it might just be a good idea to lift some weights or go for a run. This is a very light-hearted news article. There were only 40 people in this study. I wonder what the pictures were that they showed them that were unsettling. I don't know. And how did the people who don't exercise show their anger? Did they yell and scream in there while they were doing this survey? I don't know. Let's look at some questions about this article. Do I know anyone with a short temper? No, I don't really know anyone with a short temper. And I don't have a short temper. I don't get angry easily. Luckily, because I don't really want to know anyone with a short temper or who gets angry easily. This one says, how do you calm yourself when you're stressed or annoyed? I like to be alone. So I like to walk away, have my say, walk away, and just spend time with myself. This question says, are you generally good at managing stress? I am usually very good at managing stress. Yes. The next question, I was waiting for this one. Do you exercise regularly? And when did you start? Well, I haven't started yet. I'll let you know when I start. But I don't think it'll be soon. No, I do not exercise regularly. So the next question about my discipline in exercise, I can't answer that. Or how which kinds of exercise do I enjoy? No, sorry, there's none of that. I can't help there. Let's have a look at one more article. I did enjoy that one though. This one's about Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty designer leaves role after 46 years. Wow. Hello Kitty designer Yuko Yamaguchi is leaving her role this year. She has been in charge of the design of the cute character for 46 years. During that time, Hello Kitty has become a global phenomenon. Okay, everybody, I am Kat and I am your English teacher, but there is an English word that I struggle with. Please don't be embarrassed when you come across an English word that you struggle with, because it even happens to us. Everybody has at least one word in their vocabulary that they just can't get right. And this is mine. Phenomenon. Let's start again. During that time, Hello Kitty has become a global phenomenon. Scenario, the company that created Hello Kitty, announced on its website that Yamaguchi was leaving. It said she is passing the baton to the next generation of designers. The company said that Yamaguchi, who is now 70 years old, has helped Hello Kitty become a character that's loved by everyone. Scenario thanked Yamaguchi for her hard work and said she will still be offering advice to the company. A designer known as Aya will be taking Yamaguchi's role before the end of 2026. Aya has big shoes to fill. Hello Kitty is known around the world, and the character has been seen on clothing, bags, and even on the side of an aeroplane. In 2024, the UK's King Charles wished Hello Kitty a happy birthday on the character's 50th anniversary. And Warner Brothers is making a Hello Kitty movie that's due to be released in 2028. She's been seen in TV shows before too, but she's never spoken. She doesn't actually have a mouth. There is also a Hello Kitty theme park being built in China. It should open on the island of Hainan next year. Hello Kitty might be a global, here we go again, phenomenon, but nobody knows much about her, according to Scenario. She's not a cat, but she isn't a human either. Scenario says the character's full name is Kitty White, and she's from London. She has a twin sister called Mimi, as well as a pet cat of her own. I didn't know any of these things about Hello Kitty. To be honest, I don't know anything much about Hello Kitty. It's cute. It's popular. That's about all I know. But I thought it was a cat because it's a kitty. But it's not a cat. But it has a cat, a pet cat. And its name is Kitty White. Very interesting. And I would also like to apologize to any of my Japanese students for the way that I make a mess of Japanese words. I am an English teacher, not a Japanese teacher. And I do not pronounce Japanese words very well. I'm apologizing now for all the mistakes I made. I'm sorry. But I hope you forgive me the same way I forgive my students when they get a bit of English wrong. Let's have a look if there's some questions about this. What are my thoughts about her retiring? Good for her. I think she has dedicated enough of her life to this company and this character, and she should be so proud of herself. This question asks if I'm a Hello Kitty fan. No, I'm not a Hello Kitty fan. I'm way too old to be a Hello Kitty fan. And I've never known anyone that's a big Hello Kitty fan. So that's probably why I don't know much about it. Well, I think that's going to be about it for today, for Tuesday, World News Day. I hope you enjoyed listening to me today. And I'll see you tomorrow. Not sure what we're going to talk about tomorrow. We'll see. But I'm sure it'll be fun. I'll see you then. Bye.